Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wadcast podcast. I am your host, Eddie Ift. That's right. The comedian, formerly known as Eddie Ift. No, the Eddie Ift, formerly known as the comedian. I don't even know if I do comedy anymore. You know, this pandemic shut it down. It is down. We are the last of the Mohicans. We're the last ones that get to come back. Everybody else before us, we're like movie theaters. Nobody wants to be around us. We're heavy breathers. Well, let's just hope this shit goes away. They get a handle on it. Our government gets their shit together. We fix this thing. Everybody calm the fuck down. And let's end this thing so I can go back to making people laugh, because I got no tour scheduled. Zero. So this podcast is it. I'm putting my heart and soul into this thing for you people every week. I do a show about, I guess it's fitness, strength, conditioning, health, wellness, CrossFit, endurance racing, powerlifting, anything that you find interesting in the world of like elite level, like taking care of yourself, getting, turning into a ninja, whatever it takes. And this episode, I love this episode. I think this is not fascinating is not the word. I just think it's fun. This is a fun episode, what I have coming up for you. This show, I am being supported by this show now. So please go to my Patreon. My Patreon is how I pay all the bills. And the Patreon is, you go patreon.com/wadcast, I believe. Let me make sure for you. Patreon. You just type in patreon.com/wadcast. And then you guys can help out the show. I just put wadass. That's not it. Wadcast. You guys can help out the show by donating. You can donate $1 if you want, but if you donate a $5 a month, you get in a drawing for a what is it? What do you get? You get a Myopux and a leopard claw. Both things I use often. Yeah. $5 is going to get you a Myopux electronic muscle stimulator and a leopard claw self-mobility tool. It's kind of like a Graston. And the Myopux is like a Mark Pro or any of those other things you've seen. Yeah. And I notice our Patreon's dropping. And I know that's because a lot of you guys, a quarter of the country's unemployed. I get it. If you're out of money, please, the last thing I want you to do is give me money. But if you're one of those lucky 75%ers that still has your job and is secure in it, take care of the show. If you like the show, you listen to it every week. And if you have no money, I'm asking you to do us a favor. Go to iTunes and write a review. That's the least you could do. Or just say 5 stars. That's all you got to do. Because it helps the show, gets it out there, more people find out about it. Other than that, Murph's coming up in about 2 weeks, and less than 2 weeks. And that's what this show is about. I've done an episode before on it. I've done an episode now. I have seeked out. We're about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days officially from Murph. But Hunter McIntyre is going to be doing it on the 23rd, so that's 10 days from now. I have found someone that is going to put up a good battle against Hunter. His name's Matty White. He's a professional triathlete, former professional triathlete. Works out at a CrossFit gym in Australia that I go to when I'm there. And he's friends with James Newberry, who's a top games competitor. I think was 4th in the games last year. And James told me this guy's the real deal. Now, this is going to be pretty awesome. Hunter's doing it to raise money for a charity. It is a great, that's Hunter calling right now. Look, he's calling me right now. Hey, you're on the podcast. Listen, I got to call you back because I'm just doing the introduction for the podcast, but the whole episode's...
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. I just want you to tell me that I was right, and that's it, and I'll leave you alone.
No, I'm right.
Just tell me that I was right, and you'll leave me alone. Go to his Instagram. I sent you a video, and then you can just tell me I was right, and then I'll leave you the fuck alone.
He's going to kill you.
Dude, watched it. It's sad.
He's going to kill you.
It's very sad.
Okay. All right. Listen, I'll call you back right after this. Don't go to sleep. I'm doing the.
Just watch the fucking video.
Hey, you're on the show right now. Watch your swearing, fuckface. All right. So back to the show. Hunter's talking shit, and because he's challenging this guy, and you'll hear the episode. But again, thanks for listening. Thanks for being a fan of the show. Thanks for all the nice emails I get from you guys. I really, 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 from the bottom of my heart, appreciate all the nice things you say. I saw there's a subreddit about the show where everybody talks about Scott and Armin leaving the show. And I didn't realize, I guess everybody that left the show hates me. So there's a subreddit that's like, Eddie sucks. I only listen for Scott and Armin. So all you guys that are listening, you're good people. But you people that left, screw you. I didn't like you anyway. All right, how's that feel? I just had a family member pass away, and we wanted to send food to relatives. And my whole family was talking about what we should send. And they all were like, let's get Whole Foods and we'll send them this. I said, no, you got to send them Eat the 80. It is my new favorite thing in the world. It's the most delicious food I've ever had in my life. I hope my wife doesn't listen to this, because the truth is, whoever cooks for Eat the 80, you're so much better than my wife. And it's a frozen meal. It shouldn't be that way, that you put a frozen meal in the microwave and then it's better than anything you could cook yourself. And I say this sincerely. It really is incredible. I think all those other things like Sunbasket or whatever, Blue Apron, they're really good. The food's delicious. Problem is, it takes forever to make. Forever. Like hours. And, there's so many ingredients. This is already pre-made. And you just throw it in the microwave or on the stove or in the oven, whatever you want to do. But the microwave's the easiest, and it's out. It's delicious. And not only that, it's way healthier than any of those. They've got they're 100% gluten-free. They've got Whole30 options, vegetarian options, keto options. It's all macro-balanced options. Like I said, 3 minutes in the microwave. All the proteins ethically sourced. They're completely clean kitchen. I don't even need to mention this about how clean they are. They are by state, local, and federal levels, but they go above and beyond. And because of the COVID-19 virus, they're like taking extra precautions, but they don't need to, because you cook the food once it goes over 150 degrees, the virus is dead. It's vacuum sealed for freshness. It's amazing. And they do. If you do get it, get the breakfast scramble. That's my favorite. The meatloaf's incredible. I don't know. They're all so good. In fact, I'm going to get on and order some right now, or Eat the 80. You could send me some, hint, hint. But I'm going to get more because I need them. But if you're a trainer, good thing is get your clients on them. It's a good way to get them eating healthy, and they give you a little reward. They'll give you 10% back. So towards food. So if your clients are eating it and they give you 10% of what your clients order, and then you get that off your own bill. Go to info@eatthe80.com for that. That's for you trainers out there. And I know there's a lot of coaches that listen to the show. So it's a really good way to get your clients eating healthy. And then they got a special coupon code for all the other listeners, or even anybody, whoever wants this. WAD40. Use that. That's the promo code that you're going to put in at checkout, I believe. $40 off. You're going to get that off your first 2 orders. So you get $20 off each order. Okay? How great's that? $40 off. These meals are the most delicious out there. It's Eat the 80, and it's the number 80. So eatthe80.com. eatthe80.com. So we are going to get to this episode right now. Matty White, fireman, former Ironman triathlete, and professional triathlete, friend of James Newberry, CrossFitter, freak of an athlete, is going to crush Hunter McIntyre. I'm just egging Hunter on, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So I hope you guys are training for it, and I hope you enjoy this episode. And I will, just enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wadcast Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie Ift. Each and every week, what do? I bring you the best show in the whole fitness world. Don't deny me that. Tell me, come on, I've got low self-esteem. Tell me I'm amazing. This week, we're continuing the Murph-a-thon. Murphathon. We're talking Murph. I don't know why. I just felt like I love the workout, and I thought, we're just going to, my buddy Hunter thinks he's going to get the world record. And I've been out there trying to find someone all over the world looking for someone who can beat him so he can talk smack to him. And lo and behold, when I was looking at the top CrossFitters in the world, one of them happens to be a friend of mine, James Newberry. And I was like, James would be really good at Murph because... You know, he's not one of the bigger guys, and Murph takes a little more calisthenic ability. And no, James just randomly posts this guy out of the blue. I've been to Adelaide a million times and never met you. And here is this guy that is apparently a beast, and Murph is one of your specialties. So, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, Matty White. Matty, I know nothing about you other than you're a freak from what James tells me.
Hey, thanks for the intro. And I tell you what, us Australians like talking smack, so let's bring it on.
So, all right, so let's get to it. Your fastest Murph time.
Okay, so last year was just under 30 minutes. Now, I did that on a hilly course at the local CrossFit box, just where I live, actually, just behind me. I live on a big hill, just at the Adelaide foothills. Are you familiar with the area?
Yeah, very well. I've been there probably 25 times.
Yeah, beautiful. I bet you visited some of the wineries as well.
Oh, yeah. I was just there.
Yeah. Well, that's where I am. So, pretty hilly area. Did the run on a hilly course. So, as you know, with the weights vest, running on a hilly course, little bit detrimental to your time. So that was the last time I had a big crack at it. But generally, a lot of my workouts are 30, 40 minutes long, sometimes an hour long. Do a lot of these workouts with James. He comes up to my house here, which where I'm sitting at the moment. I've got a pretty good outdoor gym just behind me. You see that gum tree there?
Yeah.
We've got a big 12-meter rope. So we have a bit of fun up here with some big, long running wads and
12.
James has used
12 meters. I don't know metric except for grams, but
yeah. So what are we going? That's probably like how many feet in a meter?
No, about
probably
3. It's almost like a yard. So it's like if it's 12 meters,
yeah.
it's like 12 yards. So it's like 36 feet. That's a high rope.
Yeah, it's long enough to fuck you up if you come down, basically. So I was driving home from work the other night, and I'm a firefighter. And just saw an old mattress on the side of the road. And, you know, when people put out their hard rubbish, I thought, stuff it. I'm just grabbing that. Grabbed an old mattress just to put at the bottom of this rope because I'm thinking, this thing's bloody high. It's out of my front garden. I got school kids that walk up and down my road. They look at my rope, and you know what it's like when you're a child. Yeah. You kind of everything you want to see, you climb. And the other day, I caught like this 10-year-old kid climbing up my rope, and I thought, oh shit, I better put some protection down there.
So,
but we have a.
So you're no school kid. How old are you?
Yeah, man, I turned 43 last week, believe it or not. So
I love it. I love it. One for the old guys. Yeah,
and that's the thing.
I might be cheering for you to beat Hunter now. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm Team Matty right now. That when I heard your age, I mean Hunter's probably physically like 30, but mentally 16, I'd say. So 30 minutes. When you did 30 minutes, first of all, what CrossFit box do you live near?
Okay, the actual CrossFit box is just closed down, so I'm kind of I've moved over to James's gym now, which is Soul 365.
Yeah, I work
in
out
the
there.
City.
I work out there every February, March when I come over. I do the
Amazing
the
gym.
Fringe Festival. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and he's always working down there. This guy, he's an elite CrossFit athlete, but he's always got a hammer and nail in his hand, putting up something new and changing the gym. And for you guys who are down in Adelaide, this is probably it is the premier CrossFit box down here. It's amazing.
But where were you working out in the foothills?
Yeah, it's just literally 400 meters at the bottom of my hill, just behind me down here. It's just a small little box. Good little community, and that's kind of got me hooked on CrossFit after I retired from professional triathlon. Okay,
so you were a pro triathlete. Okay, so that kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah, man, that was 18 years of my life I won't be getting back, that's for sure.
Wow, so, 18 years. Were you friends with Amanda Allen?
Yeah, Amanda Allen. Yeah. I used to train with her up on the Gold Coast when I was a young lad. I went to the big professional squad she was involved in. Actually, she was instrumental in getting me up there. And I trained with her for a good year. We shared a house, actually, as well. So she was one of those that kind of inspired me to look at CrossFit after I retired.
Yeah, so I met Amanda years back coming over there. And, we followed her. If anyone, most of the people that listen to this are pretty up on what's going on in the games. But Amanda is an OG when it goes back to She did pretty well in the CrossFit Games in the early days, and she was a beast. And she was actually really good at Murph. I remember when they first time they did it in the sand, she did really, really well. So when you do it, how do you partition? Because Hunter claims that to have the world record, you got to go 100, 200, 300.
Yeah, and I'm with him on that, and I want to go there. The thing is, so we've got the Murph Challenge coming up next week. It's Memorial Day over there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
On the 25th. So a friend of mine, Dan McPherson, who's one of the actors, he's been in the States and done a lot of TV. He was doing the Murph Challenge and on Instagram, and I kind of hooked up with him and said, hey, man, what is this? And he explained what it is, and I love the Murph workout. I love what it stands for. Obviously, being, in the emergency services and a firefighter, you have a lot of respect for, serving your country, putting your life on the line. So, those hero wads honouring, fallen soldiers is, it's great. I think it's so honourable. And you dig a little bit. So, a Murph Challenge is it's a challenge which is on a website. You record your time, and you can do it unpartitioned or partitioned, however you like. So I'm aiming for that for the Memorial Day, and then I want to carry on and go for the unpartitioned time, which I think would suit me better.
Well, I'm glad you have the right idea about it, because you're doing it for all the right reasons. It's about sacrifice. It's about Murph laid down his life for his brothers and for his country, and you have that. Hunter doesn't care about that. It's all about Hunter, even though he's trying to raise money for a charity. But that's just him trying to look good. But I'm glad that you've got all the and just to interrupt for another second, I watched the Murph Challenge, the guys like Chris Pratt and all those actors, and I just want to say one thing. Chris Pratt, and I don't talk shit ever to people. What am I saying? I used to do a podcast called Talking Shit. I usually don't call people out, but Chris Pratt, I no repped every single one of your squats. You get a no rep on your whole group gets no reps on their pull-ups. I knew a couple of the guys there because we worked out with them right after that. We did Murph with them, and they were good. There's a couple like military guys or one football player, but for the most part, that whole video of all those, it's shit. The one I'm going to call out the most is Craig Glazer. Craig Glazer, who's like a sports analyst here in America. Sorry to say this. Fuck you, Glazer. I didn't even see you do one rep. I think he just walked around the room and coached everyone. But I got in a fight with him years ago on the radio. We were on the same radio.
I love it.
In a fight. So I love that he was there doing it. I was like, what's this fat guy going to do? How's he going to do more? And I don't think he even did it. We did it last year with Stan Efferden, who's like the biggest, strongest bodybuilder in the world. And just to watch him try to do pull-ups was great, like do the whole thing. And he walked the runs, and I mean, I give them all anyone who does it, anyone who tries it, I give them all the, it's a feat just to do it. So to do it with the vest on and everything. But Hunter, I told him about you, and he's already been combing your videos, and he had some complaints today. He's like this guy. He's sending me. I'm getting message after message going, this guy's slow. There's no way there's no way he did 29. What else did he say? He thinks he can go 28. And I'm going to tell you what, Matty, you've got an advantage here. He's doing his on Saturday, the 23rd.
Okay, good. Is this live? Will he do it live?
Yeah, he's going to film it. He's going to North Carolina. He's going to a military base, and he's doing it with a bunch of military guys. And they are going to, there's going to be a CrossFit guy there, someone who's a judge to make sure he does all his reps. And I think I asked James about you, and James like, no, he's the real deal, man. And I trust James. He said no cheating, good reps, everything. So let's see what Hunter said. He called you a slug. He called you a slug, and
oh yes,
yeah. I don't know what he meant here. This guy's a push. I don't know what he meant there, but I don't know.
Oh, I know what he meant. I got a pretty good impression of what that means. Okay, but look, I'm up for it. I love the smack talk. I was a professional triathlete for a good 20 years, and I lived in America and France, and I won a few half Ironmans and top 3 in a couple of Ironmans. And look, I think the aerobic engine is there. It's
this is awesome.
Unleash the beast.
Finally, you know why? You know what's funny? I thought a lot of CrossFitters would take the bait, a lot of the top ones. I mean, they're pretty much into their training schedules and don't want to mess it up. But I thought a few of them would take the bait with Hunter. And I told him, I said, you should try to get some money up there, that you raise some money or raise some, that you can win some money, or like a sponsor put up some money, or put some money up that you win it for a charity, which would be even better. And Hunter was like, I can't do that right now. He's busy. He's busy carrying rocks around the yard and doing mushrooms or whatever he does. But this
is great. Full credit to him. Full credit to him, man. It's good that he's put it out there. I'm going to have James down at the gym checking out my reps as well. So maybe we can hook up something live. I'm up for anything. I don't really care anymore. I put it on the line for a good 18 years with a lot of sponsors and all the pressure of being a professional sports person. So you get to the point now, especially when you're kind of the other side of 40 as well, you don't really give a shit, really,
not at all.
What you kind of say. And then when you turn 80, you really don't give a shit. You can just walk around naked all day, You know what I mean?
So are you going to do it at James's gym?
Hey, man, well, if you have a look behind me, I'm not fucking doing it here. It's I got a rig. I got my rig here.
Yeah.
I'm all set up, but it's just too bloody hilly, man. It's 14% hill where I live, so there's no way. So I mean, it's good training, but I'm not doing it here.
So I've done the runs around James's, where you're going to have to run, and you got to cross a lot of streets there.
Yeah. We did a run through, and there's a lot of street, but it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, man, with this Corona thing going on, there's not a lot of cars on the road.
Oh, that's
not a lot of people on the road. Anyway, everyone gives you a lot of space now. Yeah. So this is the best time to do it.
So what is it? I know when you go out James's door and you go directly left and then right down that first street. What do you do? How many times around? What do you do? Like four times around or 2 times around? What is it?
Yeah, we've got one big loop and then one smaller loop.
Okay.
Which gets you the 1.6.
Okay.
And then he's just set up a new rig area which is outside as well. Everything looks pretty smooth for it.
So when I'm just curious, for guys like you that are this good at it, how do you break up those 100 pull-ups, 100 or 200 push-ups, and 300 squats?
Yeah, man. So I've done it a couple of times, each different way. I partitioned it as the Cindy workout, which is 20 rounds,
right?
5, 10, 15, and I think that's the best way to get the fastest time. You can move through it quickly, and you don't get the fatigue from the push-ups. I've done 10, 20, and 30, and 10 rounds. But that's an ass kicker, man. That just gets you on the push-ups. It's the push-ups, no matter how.
Yeah.
You've seen it in the games with Bridges and all those guys. And, no matter how fit you are, it's the push-ups that'll get you.
Sure.
No matter where you are.
There's a couple other ways to. Have you heard the 2-4-6?
No, I haven't seen. What's that?
So you do 2 pull-ups, 4 push-ups, 6 squats, and you do, what is it? 50 rounds of that.
Is that the Lady RX version that Hunter's doing, or
no? Hunter says for it to be, he's like getting Guinness to certify this. At least they haven't yet, but he's like fighting. He paid $1,000 to get Guinness to make it a world record. He's saying,
yeah,
you got to go 100, 200, 300, like so unpartitioned.
Yeah,
you just do you got to do the pull-ups in a row, then the push-ups, then the squats. Can't move on to the push-ups till you're done with the pull-ups. So what I was saying is, how will you get through the pull-ups? Like how many? What do you do? Sets of 10, sets of 10, 4 sets of 25?
Tens.
Tens.
Yeah, tens my number. I've done a lot of stuff here. We did a lot. I do a lot of live workouts at the moment. The other day we did 700 box step-ups holding 2 12-kilo kettlebells and a vest. Every 3 minutes was 10 pull-ups on the rig.
What are you, a psychopath? What's wrong with
man.
you?
I got nothing to do, man. I got two kids, 8 and 5. I just need to get out of the house.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about
it's
it.
It's a good excuse.
Tell me about
it. You know what I mean? So it's like I kind of plan it around bath time and dinner time.
My wife says that. She goes, how come as soon as a wife gets pregnant or has a baby, men take up endurance sports?
Yeah. I mean, that's why Ironman's so popular at the moment. You know, these guys it's a new golf.
Yeah, it's a way to hide.
Yeah. But I think 10, and the push-ups, I think it's 10 to 15s, maybe a few sets of 20s.
Ooh.
But, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like in the beginning you're like, this is so easy, I should get as many as I can, but it can knock you out.
It does. When that fatigue creeps in, especially if you're doing it unpartitioned, that fatigue creeps in and the lactate comes in and you've just got to rest. So there's your time lost. Just praying there on your knees to the push-up god for more push-ups, you know?
It's all push-ups. But I think the vest actually helps a little bit. It doesn't help at all. It hurts. But it helps. It makes the push-ups not as bad because if you load up the front of the vest, you get that little extra. You don't have to go as deep.
I've never thought of that. Thanks for the tip, man. Yeah. That's good. There's a funny story about the vest, actually. I live next door to, do you know Morialton National Park?
Yep.
Yeah, so I live pretty much at the gate to this awesome national park. So always you get a lot of tourists in there, especially a lot of Japanese kind of tourists. They're all here on the big tour buses. And I'd always run with the weights vest. And I didn't have the tactical vest at this time. I had one of those you get from Aldi, these supermarket vests. So it looked like basically looked like a terrorist vest. I had all these compartments here. It was terrible.
You look like a suicide bomber.
Yeah. So I've gone for this run and I've run up and it's about 4K, get to a waterfall and I do, a set of, 50 push-ups and dips and everything. So I'm doing my push-ups and I'm there and I'm praying to the push-up god as you do, when you fatigue out, you're on your hands and knees. And I had my hands on the ground and I had my mobile phone there and I had this vest and it just looked like I was kind of praying with a detonator and a vest. And there was about 20 of these Japanese tourists that looked at me and they just bolted. I don't know. And I looked around and thought, what's going on here? Then I kind of thought, well, I know. Yeah.
I record the ads sometimes after the show and then I put them into the show. So I've put this one into the show and I'm just going to tell you right now, as soon as the show's over, I've talked all about fitness, but I'm going to eat ice cream. I'm in the bus right now. I'm going straight to the freezer in the garage, and I'm pulling out some real good foods. And I am going to eat the best tasting ice cream that is good for you. It's real good. I've said they should call them really great foods, but it's real good foods. And it's the best ice cream there is because it's extra creamy. That's what makes it so. Ice cream, that's a secret. creaminess. This has no icy or chalky texture of other light ice creams, because all those other ones have these like weird sweeteners, or they're like sorbet-like or flaky or icy. Not this. It's got 4 grams of sugar, 180 calories per serving, okay? Because it's sweetened with allulose. I've been eating a lot of stuff. I've been eating this cereal with allulose lately, and it's so good. If you're wondering what allulose is, it's a natural occurring rare sugar found in things like figs, dates, and maple syrup. And it has 1/10 the calories of cane sugar. And here's the most important part. No impact on blood glucose, meaning it's not going to spike your blood sugar levels. Okay? So unlike other artificial, well, it's not an artificial sweeteners, but unlike artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols, those are produced with chemicals. Allulose in this ice cream is produced through a natural enzymatic process, and it doesn't metabolize like traditional sugar. So it's a sugar-free sugar. How's that sound? It's made with fresh milk and cream, and the reason it's made with butterfat, 16% butterfat, which makes it classified as super premium real ice cream. A lot of those ice creams out there that are healthy, they're not real ice cream. This is real ice cream because of the butterfat. And the pints are available online at realgoodfoods.com and in your local vitamin shop. Go to realgoodfoods.com because you're not going to go into the vitamin shop right now. So go to realgoodfoods.com and get yourself a bundle, 5 pints for $49.99 and free shipping. Bundle includes 5 pints, okay? $49.99. That's like $10 a pint. You're like, wow, that's expensive. No, because you're getting free shipping. It's got chocolate, Tanzanian vanilla, mint chocolate chip, peanut butter chocolate chip. And right now they'll give you the free mystery flavor. It's the limited edition mystery flavor. I want to know what that flavor is. I didn't get that flavor. Yeah. So check them out. Go to realgoodfoods.com. How about that? And like I said, order now, and you're going to get a free limited edition mystery flavor pint and free shipping. Anybody trying this, let me know about it. Let me know what your favorite flavor is. All right. Right now. All right. Macro Stacks. Here's what they're doing to help you. Okay. Free consults with a coach that can help you with your personal situation. You're like, what's Macro Stacks? Only the best web-based app on the internet. Yeah. It's going to check all your macros for you. You just plug them in. It's going to tell you it's got like 8 billion. Whatever food's out there, they've got it. You plug it in. They'll tell you what the macros are, tell you all about it, your protein, your fat, your carbohydrates. You can keep track of what you're eating, okay? And then you know what the problems are. You can just basically, it's all numbers. Once you figure them out, you're going to be so healthy. You're going to be so fit. You're going to be so beautiful. You are. And they've got a nutrition coach. And they've got hundreds of recipes. Okay? And they tell you the recipes, how to meal plan it. If you want to cook like multiples. If you want to cook for a whole family. They got nutrition tips. They got fitness tips. They got a private Facebook group. What don't they have? They don't have crap. They've got all the good stuff. No crap. Go to Macro Stacks. Stay on track. They've got family-friendly recipes. I told you that. The best is you got a nutrition coach. You all need that. Every single person listening to this needs a nutrition coach. So many questions you could ask. So many things you got to balance out. And there's a community. That's the best part about this. There's a giant community. So the nutrition coaches are stepping up. They're stepping up to the plate. They're offering free virtual consults. Free. If you need help, okay, navigating what to eat, how to cook. I have people ask me all the time. Stop asking me. I'm not a nutritionist. Go to Macro Stacks. Ask them. Get your free coach. And it's a web app, so you don't get it off the App Store. You go to the website, okay? And then you're going to hold it down, and you can keep it on your phone. It can be right on your homepage. And it's the best app out there for counting macros. Trust me. Changed my diet completely. It's scientifically proven. It's got a flexible plan. It's going to help you get results. And like I said, they've got a database of over 800,000 foods for easy tracking. So go to macrostacks.com to learn more. Macro Stacks, S-T-A-X. Macrostacks.com. 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 For 25% off your MacroStacks subscription, visit macrostacks.com and enter the code WODCAST. All right, now back to the show. How'd you start into triathlons? How did that even happen?
Yeah, I started at school when I was 14. I was pretty shit at it, finished last in my first triathlon. And I was a high-level cricketer and footballer at the time. I gave all it up to pursue triathlons because I couldn't handle being bad at something. So
when you say football, did you play Aussie rules or NRL?
Aussie rules, man. I'm only a little fella, so stuck to the Aussie rules there. But couldn't handle being bad at something, so threw it all away and chased the triathlon dream and turned pro when I was 20. And then never looked back, really. It was a great life. Lived 6 years in the south of France, racing for various clubs over there. And that was pretty tough. You know, you had to kind of race each week to feed yourself. And it kind of made you hard, made you kind of really work to something. And, you know, you weren't scared to get into that dark place, you know, that you know so well in your body. You can push hard because you have to feed yourself.
So the triathlons you were you doing the hilly ones, the flat ones? Which were you into?
Yeah, man. In Europe, very hilly.
Yeah.
Over in Australia, pretty much flat. And then I did my first Ironman when I was 21 in a place called Embrun in the French Alps. And it's the hardest Ironman in the world.
Oh, is it?
I took it on. Yeah. It's most of the Ironmans here are pretty flat, but this one obviously being in the French Alps, it's pretty tough. So to put it in perspective, the winner does about 10 hours, whereas, you know, the winner in a normal Ironman will do under 8 hours.
Right.
So you're looking at that's a big day out. And
so I did that at 21. How much climbing in the 100 and some miles of biking?
So you're a 180 kilometer bike and you're going up some of the big Tour de France climbs.
Wow.
You know, some like, the main one is the Col d'Izoire, which is about 13 or 14 kilometres. But there's a lot of, 3, 4, 5 kilometre climbs preceding that and after it. But it's cool, man. All the French are there. They're at the top of the mountains ringing their cowbells, putting newspaper up your shirt because it's so high so you come down, you don't get cold. But I did that at 21, so it was a big step up for me, and I ended up finishing in 6th place. Got a good payday. And then it kind of gave me the confidence to keep pushing on.
Right. So what do you weigh right now? I'd love to know your weight.
Man, it's a battle, man. I hate saying it because people give me shit for it, but putting on weight for me is just a nightmare. It's 69 kilo when I was racing professional, and 3 to 4 years of solid CrossFit lifting. I've put on 5 kilo.
That's hilarious. So
man, I can't do it. I cannot do it, man.
So for the dumb Americans, that's about 152 pounds.
Yeah, man, and I can deadlift 200. I deadlift 200. I'll clean and jerk 110, and that's where I think that's the max I want to get to.
Let's do the conversions there. So 69 kilograms. So you're up to about 74 now.
Yeah. I'm about between 74 and 75. Yeah,
74. That's 163 pounds. Wow. Okay, and Hunter's going at about 210 right now, I think.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah,
he's a big boy.
He is now. He didn't used to be. He was tiny when I first started working out with him. I could squat more than him. And your 200 is what, 440? That's a good deadlift. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm pretty strong for my weight. I've always been reasonably strong.
What did you say the other one? Your clean and jerk?
Clean and jerk, I got to 110.
110 is, we're talking 242 pounds. Wow. That's strong.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was happy with that, and I really enjoyed the lifting. But I was always good at the longer metcons and barbell cycling, that sort of stuff.
When did you start working out with James? Did you meet him from Amanda? Or did you meet him?
Yeah, so I actually coach Kayla, James's partner.
Oh, yeah. I know Kayla.
Yeah, so we've been training for a while now, and she did her first half Ironman in February. And then I helped James a lot with his Ironman prep going into Ironman WA. And obviously I coach a lot of triathletes, so I was over there with all my athletes as well. and saw James race, and man, that was impressive. I'm just disappointed that the games might not take place this year, because with his aerobic capacity and what he's done, getting ready for that Ironman, it would serve him.
Wait.
Well,
I didn't even know this, because when I was in Adelaide this year, I forget what he was going to do. He was going on vacation, then he was going somewhere else to train, and so I didn't even get to see him. I saw his dad, so we just talked texting. He did an Ironman.
Yeah, he did Ironman Western Australia, and he just went a touch over 10 hours, which was, for a big guy, and not a lot of prep. He didn't do a lot
whoa! That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing for him, and I mean, you look at the top times. My PB there was like 8:14 when I got second. So the reason I say that's amazing is because a lot of CrossFitters go out there and just for the hell of it run a marathon, and their times are pathetic. I'm always let down by how good of athletes they are, or how fit of athletes they are. Not athletes, but they're incredibly fit, and then they'll go do a marathon, and they're like, "Yeah, I finished in 4 hours," and it's like, what? You're one of the fittest men in the world, and you did a 4-hour-long marathon. Like Austin Malleolo was telling me that on the podcast one time, and they don't train for it much, but still, that's not that impressive for somebody as fit as these guys are. Now, you take some of them that are runners, they can do it pretty well, but even if you're not a runner and you're a top CrossFitter, you should be able to do it. So when hearing that James did that, wow, that's really impressive. Yeah, it was, and he ran fast off the bike. He looked good all day. He did a few training camps with me. I run a few camps with my coaching business, and he just stomped everyone. And what
was his marathon time?
I'd have to go back and check the results, but it was definitely under 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, which it would have had to be because he went 10. So he was scooting along at the start of this marathon, and I'm running next to him going, "Man, just pull it back a bit." And he's going, I feel good. I said, well, everyone feels good in the first couple of K of this thing. And then the big gorilla jumps on your back at 30K, and you got to hold on. And he held on. And that's testament to a lot of CrossFitters, because he wasn't the only one over there from his box. There was a lot of other guys who did even less prep than him, were heavier than him, and they got through it. They were like, 12, 13 hours, but they got through it with their mental strength. So this sport has a lot to do with how to push, and no matter what you're doing, you can jump into it and you just won't give up.
We like to say it's standing in a box and suffering. You just stand in a little square and just keep suffering. And the guy
go to the dark place.
The guy who can suffer the longest and suffer the most is the best at it.
Yeah.
That's impressive, though. I didn't even know he did that. I know he's good on a bicycle, though. I think he might have won cyclocross in the games. I'm not good at. I'm not one of these.
Yeah, he got second. Got second at the crit in the games.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not. Yeah. Some guys like Armin, who used to be my co-host, was so good at knowing who finished where, how fast they did it, blah 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 blah. And I'm an idiot,
Well, we were gearing up for a triathlon that year because I did a clinic with Tia and James. Tia was over here doing a bit of training. We hooked up, did a bit of a clinic, a transition clinic, getting in and out the shoes and all the little tips that would have helped them. But they were gearing up for a triathlon that year, and Castro threw in the bike race instead. Yeah,
I was sure they were gonna. Do triathlon, and then Wadapalooza this year threw in rock climbing, which I definitely think it should be. And I say it a million times, and people give me shit for talking about the same things on the show, but I really think what CrossFit is that they should train the way they do in a CrossFit gym. But when they get to the CrossFit Games, nothing that they've trained for is there. I like it. Like nothing that they pick up should be anything that they've picked up before. And because I don't think it should be about how skilled you are at CrossFit. I think it's the test of fitness. So, make them carry a refrigerator up a hill. Let's see, who gets to the top first. That's going to show you the fittest guy, or some kind of weird obstacle course or something that they just couldn't Because a lot of times it's, hey, who does pull-ups better? Who does kipping handstand push-ups better? Who climbs a rope faster? Who can, the way they can, snatch and clean and jerk are complete technique. That's all technique. And so the guys that are good Olympic weightlifters that have practiced Olympic weight doesn't mean they're the fittest. Means they're really good at, they've got really good technique. So, and that a lot of times, and I don't like to toot his horn or pat him on the back at all. That's Hunter's argument, is that throw them in something that takes fitness and he'll beat them. But those guys will beat him because they have the technique over him.
Yeah. I like where he's coming from there, but it's that adaptability, the ability to, say do CrossFit and then do an Ironman. And do well at it.
Well, I mean, that just shows. Fitness. I mean, James to me is a machine, and he always impresses me because he's a lot smaller than a lot of those guys, and he's able to get up there until it gets to the big weights. But he just doesn't have the size that those guys have to do it.
Yeah, and at that age, you kind of have to work on your strengths as well. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's what he did last year, and I think the games played into his hands a bit with the way it was formatted. And it changes its format every year. So it was great to see him do well. And like I said,
it needs to be said, too, that he did this after his injury on the mountain bike where he punctured his lung. What did he do? He collapsed his lung or punctured it or something? Broke ribs?
Yeah. It was in a bad way. Punctured a lung and fell off the mountain bike and broke the back. But literally 2 or 3 weeks after that, he was up here at my place, at the gym here, doing a big kind of 1 hour running WOD. With me. So, he's got a lot of emphasis on recovery, and I think a lot of, not just CrossFitters, but a lot of, my followers are professional triathletes, and the triathlon community could follow a lot with how CrossFitters go about their recovery, their diet, their stretching with their ROM WODs and all that sort of stuff. It's this true holistic approach, which I've tried to carry across in my coaching business as well. So I've learned a lot from being involved in CrossFit from my 20 years in professional sport. You can still learn new things. It's amazing.
So that you just brought something up that I've got a really important question, I think, for you. Doing both of them, CrossFit and the triathlon world, and being high level in triathlon, is there something that the CrossFitters are missing out on that they're not taking?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to training, is there something that you're like, if they would only, throw this in, or if they would only learn to do this, it would help them so much more? What would you say to this?
Look, I'm 100%. It's that long aerobic run, ride, or row, whatever you do. Do it on the Sunday, maybe another day during the week. But that aerobic system needs to be developed. And a lot of them. Are
you saying LSD, like going long, slow distance, and
yeah, man, that low heart rate, so you're teaching your body how to burn fat, building all the capillaries and that blood transport, which is so prevalent in aerobic athletes. You look at those Kenyans, they have got so many capillaries, so much blood transport going around their system that enables them to run so fast without fatiguing. Now, the reason I can do quite well at CrossFit in a relatively short time is because that big aerobic base that you have and the ability to transport oxygen helps you, number one, recover, deal with the big metcons, and then it's just a matter of a little bit of conditioning with the muscles to turn you into a decent athlete. Try telling a CrossFitter to go on a long 1 hour low heart rate run, and that's your biggest battle.
Well, see, back in the day when CrossFit started, they did do that. There was always, every day was so different. Some days it was like you were going to 1 rep max. Some days you were going to run a 10K. And some days it was, it was just always different. And then it got into this, we're going to do our strength portion. We're going to do our Metcon. And then we're going to do a recovery or some specialized work. But back in the day, that's what I liked about it. I was like, I don't have enough time to be, a gym rat. One day I want to run a 10K. The next day I want to do a 1 rep max squat and just work on that. And then the next day do a Fran or something. So it was pretty interesting then. And I've kind of gone back to that now myself because I don't have time. And, I'll just jump on my mountain bike and go for an hour-long ride. Or I'll, do what was the workout I did yesterday? It was miserable. I forget. It was it was 23. It was like, I think it's called Heidi. and it was like 23 of everything. I thought it was going to be easy, you know, when you think it's going to be easy and then it creeps
It's
up.
easy, always easy writing it on paper.
Yeah.
And then when you get into it, it's the next level.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's really, really something that I had to learn myself. I didn't know that about aerobic capacity, and then a coach told me about that. A CrossFit coach, or not a CrossFit coach, but a running coach was like, "No, you got to get out there." And I kept telling him, I'm like, I just went out. My heart rate was at like 160. He's like, "No," and he goes, "Get that heart rate way down." And I said, "If I go that low on a heart rate, I go, I'll be walking." He goes, "Good, walk." And I said, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, you got to. That's how you're going to build your aerobic system." And I was like, "I don't believe you." And he's like, "Okay, keep doing what you're doing then." But is that
and that's in today's climate. You know, I coach a lot of people, and they've only got an hour of the day to train, and try telling them to go easy. It's hard. You know, you've got an hour, and you're in a high pressure job. You want to smash yourself in that hour every day. You want to high five people. You want to jump up and down, and you do feel good after that type of session, understandably so. But, you know, you have to ask yourself physiologically, what are you actually training? You know, are you training that anaerobic system, your strength system, your aerobic system? Because every system is so specific to how it needs to be trained and developed. If you stick with that one kind of system, like conditioning every day, you're going to actually detrain yourself. Your body will adapt to that, and it will stagnate. So I think you have the right idea with what you're doing in terms of, you know, you've got that recipe, which is, you know, your cardio, your long recovery, your metcons, strength work. You put it all together, and then you're going to have this. You're going to bake the cake, basically. So, you know, you got the recipe, bake the cake. All the elements are there, and you get it right.
But I think CrossFitters get scared that they will fall out of one of them. Like they'll lose if they don't do strength every day or 4 days a week or whatever they're doing, whatever program they're on. That if they don't do that every day, that it's going to go away. And if they don't do their Metcon, it's going to go every day. Hey, and so that's why they try to get that strength and Metcon in. And then I don't know many of their training programs anymore. I used to follow some of the coaches and what they were programming for their top athletes. But I didn't see, like you said, I didn't see a lot of the long, slow distance stuff for anyone ever. And I think in their head, it's like, that's just going to come. That's going to come from doing Metcons. But like you said, it's not.
Believe me, man, I can tell you, you know, there's no way, you know, someone like myself can go down a box and just walk in and just, you know, destroy everyone. And, you know, you have to ask yourself, there is a reason for it. And, you know, it's 18 to 20 years of aerobic base conditioning. And, you know, Amanda's the same, you know, that you never lose that base conditioning work.
So when you do your long, slow distance workouts, your aerobic, what are you at? What's your heart rate? What would you say it is?
Yeah, man, I like to keep that rule under 140. You know, if I'm under 140, I know I'm aerobic. And then it's that active recovery as well. So, you know, I do really hard Metcons. They're stupid, some of the stuff I do. So I really have to measure them and make sure I kind of mix them into good recovery cardio days. So you're not only flushing the system out, but you're also developing a bit of a cardio engine as well. So for me at this point, it's more so recovery because I'm not actually gaining any more aerobic base because I was training 30 to 40 hours a week aerobically in my day. But for the CrossFitters out there who are listening, you can really change your times in some of your WODs and, you know, how you recover by just adding a few more aerobic workouts in.
So when you're doing a Metcon or, you know, something like a Murph, what would your heart rate be at on that?
Now, I reckon I'm pretty much around 160 to 170 now, and I have a really good ability to work for a long time at 170. I've known that most of my life, and I know what I can do, and it's just the conditioning that just has to follow that. Obviously, with the technique, with the Murph thing, you know, the butterfly pull-ups, you want to try and keep them smooth, and push-ups are push-ups, eh?
Yeah,
they just suck.
Yeah. But you won't monitor that. You just know where you are. You're not going to look and be like, all right, this is what I need to maintain the whole way through here.
Yeah, look, I take it to the limit. I get to the dark place and I just live there for a good 30 minutes. And that's where it is. I love it. It's like a drug, man. It's like a drug, you know, I need it. I got to go to the dark place at least 4 or 5 times a week. And that's my fix, you know. I like it.
I've only done one long race in my life, like really long, and I did it just so I could talk about it all the time. But I did it, and I figured out that 145 was my heart rate. I was like, don't ever go up over 145. I mean, you're going to on some of the hills, but I was like, try to maintain that 145. And the way I looked at it is like, I'm a car, and don't redline the engine. As long as I don't redline it and I keep fuel going in it the whole time, I won't bonk out. And I was able to go 19 hours. It was a 68-mile race, and I went, as long as I just kept fueling the whole time. People are like, have you stopped eating this whole time? And I'm like, no. I'm just like, just little bits of food the whole time. I'm like, I'm just keeping fuel in that system. And they're like, Hunter kept yelling at me. He's like, you don't need to eat anymore. And I'm like, I'm not going to run out of food. I'm just, because I knew, I don't know how fat adaptive I am, and probably am, but I just kept putting glycogen in because I was like, I don't want to bonk out. So I was like, as long as I stay under that like 145 on the heart rate and I just keep the food going in, I'm going to make it. And I do feel like because I did that, I could have gone on forever.
Yeah, well, you've obviously hit the sweet spot, is what they call it in, kind of Ironman triathlon terms. You find that aerobic sweet spot that's just on the borderline of you tipping over into that anaerobic zone, and then your body just maintains there. And as long as you're fueling it, you just hit that sweet spot and you just maintain that pace, and you're metabolizing fat really well, and you just keep going.
Yeah, so my goal is before I'm 50 to do an Ironman. And and I don't want, and I'm not going to try to like no James shit out here. You know, just all I want to do is, get the tattoo on my neck.
But no, man, you go. This is the way you get the big, the M dot tattoo. We're thinking of going the big M all over your back, shave your head, and then put the red dot on your head. Then that's how you fucking go large, man.
I can't believe
none of this. None of this on your calf shit. Don't go big.
I can't believe how many people go and buy all that merch.
It's nuts, man. I had a few clients. Last year that did their first Ironman, and he went into the merch tent and he came back with a fucking baking tray. And I'm thinking, what? He had like 7 jerseys, a couple of shirts, and a fucking baking tray for a cake with the Ironman dot on it.
Jesus.
Man, these guys are marketing geniuses, because if people are buying baking trays with Ironman on it.
I had 2 buddies who did it last year, and they were so proud of themselves. And every time I'm like, we get it. We get it. You did an Ironman. Do you have to wear another shirt that says you did the Ironman? We get it.
Oh, you do.
And
you do, man. You do.
I don't know how they did it. They are marketing geniuses. And I think some other things, Tough Mudder and all those things, have tried to kind of follow in their footsteps. And but no one, because I think it's that man, the word man in it. Like, you're an Iron Man, and people are like, I am an Iron Man. I'm like, yeah, you and 700,000 other people have done it. It used to be, and not to take anything away from you, especially because you were so high level, but it used to be that if you did an Ironman, and funny enough, a comedian that I work with, Andy Hendrickson, his dad was one of the creators of the Ironman, and he just the one in Hawaii, the original one, and he just shot a documentary about it. And, but that was like an amazing feat, right? It was like, holy shit. Now there's guys like that Iron Horse guy or whatever that did it like 30 days and 30 Ironmans in 30 days. And did you see that?
I saw that, man. That was not healthy. That probably took about 5 years off that man's life. I'll tell you that right now.
Did you call bullshit on it?
Oh, it's hard, man. It's hard to say. You got to be there. Like, you're watching a Netflix documentary. They only show you what you see. But
I tried to have him on the show. I tried to have him on the show, and he said he'd come do the show if I got him on Joe Rogan, and I said goodbye.
Goodbye.
But look, it's an impressive what he did. But he was swimming the swims in the pools a lot, and he was on a. Look, I couldn't do it, and I don't think anybody out there could. But I kind of feel like he didn't really do 30 Ironmans. He did full swim. I shouldn't rip on the guy, but I'm still going to.
Hey man, everyone's got their thing, you know. Like it's just the way it is now. You got to have your thing, and you go do it. You know, I guess you know, like this Murph thing is my thing, and I'm happy to have a crack at it. I was actually going to look at this rope, this stupid rope behind me. I was going to do the that rope climb challenge. I was dicing up with that,
what's the rope climb challenge?
So that's the Everest, Mount Everest on the rope climb.
Don't tell me you do 30,000 feet or something of climbing.
Yeah, man, it's done. It's been done.
Jesus.
And I'm pretty competent on the rope because I'm not that heavy and I've got good strength. But man, it's just pretty daunting going up and down that thing. I think it worked out. It would be about nearly 1,000 climbs, and you're doing it for. I think the world record was just 17 hours or 18 hours. You're allowed
to lock your feet, right?
Yeah, you can lock out. Yeah,
God.
shit, yeah. But it's the hands, man. It's that scares me. And being a firefighter, I can't really afford to, you know, be in intensive care for the next 2 or 3 weeks and not use my hands.
So you're a full-time firefighter and you coach?
Yeah. I retired from professional racing about 4 years ago, and then I started the coaching business, and I've been a firefighter for about the last 10 years.
Do you coach at all at Soul 365?
No, I do predominantly online triathlon coaching, and just heaps of crazy fitness coaching as well. Like I got a lot of special force soldiers who I coach, a lot of marathon runners, but most of my business is more Ironman and just triathletes.
I think I just found my coach for my Ironman.
Yeah, man, hook me up. I'll look after you.
Yeah,
we've got your heart rate data. We know you can go for a long time. You can talk some shit, and most of all, you're going to get a big fuck off tattoo once you finish with it.
I'm going to shave my pubes into the Iron Man. My wife was love it. My wife's like, "Why are you going to do this?" And I'm like, "I just have to do it." And she's like, man. "Oh, you're going to be so annoying. You're going to talk about it constantly." And I said, I got to get it done. So I started training for it. I was going to do Mont Tremblant this year. I was just with my buddies, going to be the marathon part of the triathlon, and they signed me up. A bunch of guys I used to lifeguard with, and and so I booked a gig up there in Montreal at the comedy club, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just do the comedy gig and then just run down and go do the marathon, and then I'll get to watch one before I do it. And
good idea,
but they're canceling them all, you know, because of the coronavirus. So, what one would you recommend for someone to do their first Ironman?
We talking in the States or, you know,
anyway,
in the world?
Part of me was like, when you said the French one, I was like, if I'm going to do it, maybe I should do the ugliest one there is. And I heard Norway has a terrible one.
Yeah, I was going to go to that one in Norway when I was racing. The organizer contacted me, and I looked it up, and the run is actually 42 kilometers uphill.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, and it's cold, man. It's freaking cold. So, to be honest, you know, Ironman WA, the one that James did, and it's in December every year. Beautiful course, dead flat, good atmosphere,
hot,
shitload of flies, but it counteracts with a lot of wineries in the area as well, so it's quite good. But I would say the Embrun Man, which I talked to you about before, was beautiful. The French Alps, lovely town, beautiful people. Picturesque course.
Do you have to qualify for that one?
No, you don't have to qualify for any Ironman
except for Hawaii.
Except for Hawaii, which incidentally I saw today has been put to February now. They've just announced it. So it was in October, and that's huge. That's a big thing. Good for the Southern Hemisphere athletes, for us, because it's in our summer, which means a lot of the guys don't have to train through winter to get to Kona now. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be smack bang in the middle of our summer, which will be good.
So you'll see a lot of Aussies over there this year.
Well, you qualify, so, you know, it's still probably going to be the same amount of people, but you probably see a lot more Aussies doing well.
Right.
Hopefully. You know, we've done well over there in the past with Craig Alexander. He won 3 or 4. And that's who I used to train with. I used to live in Boulder, Colorado, which incidentally, that's where Hunter from?
That's where Hunter's hanging out right now. The only reason he's there, though, is because his landlord here, where I live in Malibu, won't let him come back. Because he's is
that why he's chasing the money in this challenge?
Yeah, because he's you know him. He's over there. He's over there he's probably got the virus 10 times over. He's probably the most viral person there is. He's not quarantining. He's everywhere. I guarantee he's never had a mask on ever. I mean, he's a disease. So
he's the Chuck Norris. This guy sounds like the Chuck Norris of CrossFit.
He's a fucking idiot, and
I love him, man. It's good.
But he talks a lot of shit, and a lot of the time he comes through. So it's look, he thinks he can go 28. I find that very hard to believe.
Where's he doing? Is he doing it in Boulder?
No, he's doing North Carolina on a military base.
So he's coming down.
Yeah. That's going to help him. Yeah.
That'll help him a lot. I mean, I lived in Boulder. That's a beautiful town, by the way. Anyone listening in Colorado and Boulder, if there's somewhere I could live in the world, I could live there in Boulder. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
but probably not now. The Hunter guys here, I probably won't live there.
Well, it's great, though. You're his only challenger. That's like
really,
and it just came out of the blue. I was going to call James to say, hey, how do you think you could do it, Murph? Because I think he could do pretty well. And then I see his posting, and I start talking to him. He's like, this guy smokes me.
Well, we did a workout, a live workout with James last week. I hooked up. We split the screen, and it was 350 devil's press with the vest on, and every 3 minutes was 25 push-ups. So we didn't finish. I capped out at 50 minutes. So I got 320 devil press. James he struggled with the push-ups actually, but granted he was moving house and trained for a few weeks. But yeah, I mean the longer workouts definitely suit me. Chuck a vest on, it doesn't really matter too much. But I'm up for any challenge. Anyone wants to push me into the fucking dark place, I'm used to, man. I've had 20 years there.
What's the longest race you've done?
The longest.
Have you done any like double Ironman or anything like that?
No, man. No, I mean, the thing is when you're a professional, you do these Ironmans and you're actually racing them.
Yeah.
You know, it's not Joe Blow going out and, high-fiving and smiling and kissing the kids and doing 12 hours and having a great time. And that's all good. And I love that. But, when you're a professional, you are on the limit for 8 hours and it takes time off your life. It takes part of your soul away.
Yeah, you guys are weirdos. I was talking today down my kid at the beach, and a guy that his kid goes to school with. He's one of the top paddleboarders in the world, and he was going to do Molokai this year, and he's won Catalina, and I think he had the record at Catalina for a while. And he said, "Oh yeah, one time," he goes, "I paddled over to Catalina with a buddy. We got a beer and paddled back." And I love it. It's like 25 to 30 miles each way. So
wow.
He's like, we went over, got a beer, and we paddled back. And I'm like, what? So,
that's some Laird Hamilton shit there, man.
Yeah, well, he trains with Laird a lot. I live up in the mountains above Malibu, and it's where all the freaks live. And it's all it's all these guys like Hunter and Laird, and they're all like pushing each other, and you just keep finding there's a new kid on the block every week who's done something crazier than the next kid. And
that's good, man. That's healthy.
Yeah, but they're all located in like one place. Like my daughter goes to this school in Malibu, and they were talking about the Olympics one day to the kids and telling them they were learning all about the Olympics. And they said, oh, so-and-so's father's going to bring in his gold medal, and this teacher's boyfriend's going to bring in his gold medal, and his father's going to bring in his medal. I was like, what? Like how many So it's just like a town. It's the same with Boulder, like they're like an epicenter for like freak athletes and weirdos. So
yeah, man, that's Tri-Town. Boulder is that's triathlon town.
Yeah, San Diego is too,
freaks,
isn't it? San Diego.
Yeah, I spent 6 weeks down there training, and I just remember riding around that Fiesta Island until I got dizzy.
Yeah, San Diego is also a CrossFit capital. I mean, it's those guys. There's more boxes per you throw a stone and you hit one, and you've got all those like military guys. So that's a fit town.
And they love it. They just we got a term down here called just frothing out.
Yeah.
And I know they just froth out over that, which is good, man. It's all healthy. Everyone's outside doing stuff. That's what I liked about Boulder. Those outdoor towns. Everyone's just out doing things, and the obesity rate in these towns is just so low.
Yeah.
And I traveled around a lot on the circuit, and You go to all the other different towns in America and you see the different demographics, and you got California, Boulder, everything's so healthy. Then you kind of go Ohio and all these other middle America towns are so sedentary, and it's just so different, man. It's scary, people have to change.
Well, I got a couple more questions, then I'll let you go. But I appreciate.
Yeah, man,
time.
Cool. I'm hungry.
What was your strength in the triathlon? Which one?
I'd probably say the run. I ran a 2:49 off the bike when I got second in Ironman.
2:49. What do you think? What do you think you would have done a marathon without the bike and the swim?
Yeah, I've won the Adelaide Marathon here twice, and I went 2:30, just low 2:30s.
Wow.
And that was with a vest. You can tell Hunter that I had a vest on with that.
No, you didn't.
It's 20 kilo. Tell him about a 20 kilo vest and ankle weights.
You're gonna crush him. You're gonna crush him. That's my last question. What's your time? What do you think you're going?
For Murph?
Yep.
Yeah, man. I want to go. I tell you what, he's called 28, and that's where I'm thinking as well. So, look, unpartitioned, sub 30 is a beast time. I mean, I think anything sub 34. Unpartitioned.
Well, in the games in 2016.
Yeah, Bridges
did it. I think it was 34.
That's 34, and that's a record. That's the official record. Like, I don't know, on CrossFit, there's hardly any records with anything really, but that's the time to beat unpartitioned, I think. Yeah.
Well, and I wrote it down what his mile times were. But they had to go up those stairs first, and there was a bottleneck, so it doesn't really count. But I think I wrote it down somewhere. I was not. Yeah, here it was. He was almost 8 minutes on the first mile, and 9:22 on the second one.
That was hot though as well, wasn't it? That was hot.
That was really hot, but like I was going to race Hunter and do it without a vest, and I was going to do it partitioned. But then when I found out how fast he was going, I'm like, I'm out. But those are like the times that I would have run without the vest, and and I'm a slug. So, I'm not really that impressed with Bridges' times. How fast will you run your miles?
Man, I can pretty easily. I'll be hooking at under 4 minute Ks for those kilometers. There shouldn't be an issue there for 1.6. We're even with a vest on, so 4 minutes, 5, 6, at least 6. You'd think 6 under 6.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a good fight. I love it. Yeah. We finally have a competition.
I might even take the ankle weights off for this one as well.
No, but rub it in. You're also like 13 years older than that fat fuck. So
yeah, man, that's it. I'm doing it for the over 40s here as well. So that's even more pressure for him not to get beat.
He makes fun of my age, so I'm taking your side now. I'm really impressed. I mean, look, you haven't done it yet,
Thanks,
but everything
man.
you've done, I've been impressed by. I trust James. I know James doesn't mess around, so. Geez, my money, I'm going to start taking bets on this. My money might be in you. I say you have the advantage because you're going 2 days after him. Maybe you guys should do it the same day. So it's like, you know.
You know what?
Because if you see his time, you have something to work towards.
You know what though? I've done this a few times now, and it really doesn't matter. You can't look at the clock and speed up or whatever. You just go
with your pace.
To your fatigue, and you fatigue in those push-ups, you can't push any more out.
Right.
That's it. And you're fatigued on the run, you can't run any faster. So you just take it to the limit and just send it hard. And 30 minutes.
Are you going to be post-streaming this or anything for people to see?
Yeah, man. I don't give a fuck anymore, man. Like, I got no sponsors. I'm not doing this for any publicity. It's just for me, my personal goals, and to inspire some of the other people. I got a lot of firefighters at work who are kind of doing this challenge and follow me. I'm past all that now, racing on the elite stage. So it's good to not have any burden and just go as hard as I can.
So
try and take down the big dog.
Where can we watch it? Are you going to put it on Instagram Live or anything?
Yeah, man, I'll put it on Instagram Live. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put it up.
And your page is?
It's Matty White Training.
Matty White Training. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And your site's great. Your page is great. You did a lot of good stuff. So everybody check him out. Matty White at Matty White Training, and that's WHITE.
Yeah.
And thanks again for doing this. I appreciate
Awesome,
it.
man.
And looks like you got some nice weather over there in Adelaide, which isn't common this time of year, is it?
Oh man, it's not warm. We're heading into winter now, but that winter sun is beautiful. Clear skies. It's pretty dry here in winter. You know, but unfortunately, with everything's going on, fortunately, we're in a good place in South Australia. We've had 0 cases in the last 4 weeks. So
right.
I think we're good to go soon.
I left there. I was there on March 9th. I left Adelaide and came to the States. I should have stayed there.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah. Well, be careful of those.
Thanks, man.
Be careful of those swooping birds. And
yeah.
And people don't know what I'm talking about, but you've probably been attacked.
They're called hunter. They're called hunter birds.
That's hilarious.
They swoop.
Well, our hunter bird, I think, is going to get beat now. My money's on you.
Oh, yeah.
43 Hunter. I'm going to call him right now. Well, thanks for doing the show. Thanks for listening, guys. And good luck on the 25th.
Awesome, brother. Thanks again for your time.
Good talking to you. All right.
See you, man. Bye.